I've been a fan of Eichler Homes and A. Quincy Jones and Frederick Emmons, the architects who designed the Eichler homes, since long before I was even in real estate. I think it started with skateboarding. You know, as a skateboarder, you tend to look at objects differently. You tend to appreciate flat lines and curves a lot differently. If you look at a typical mid-century or even contemporary style home, you can practically shrink that building down or shrink that home down, and it is the perfect skate object. And even Chocolate Skateboards had a mid-century modern home series where they featured all the coolest mid-century architects. When I started focusing on building KASE, I knew I wanted to have an emphasis on specializing in mid-century architecture, which in Orange County is very difficult to do because there's just not as much of it as LA. In LA, you have the case study homes, you have Gregory Ain and Pierre Koenig and Lautner's, and in Orange County, there's a few one-offs of those architects here and there. There's a small tract of Cliff May homes, and as far as Eichler goes, there's less than 350.
My name is DJ Sigband, born and raised here in Orange County. My family's been here for, I think I'm a 7th generation Californian. My daughter's an 8th generation Californian, so this is home for sure. Growing up near the beach, becoming a surfer at a young age, it's hard to not live anywhere else in Orange County. Personally, I did not want to sell our house. We'd been there for so long and put so much time and energy, and you're not going to find those homes kind of anywhere else here in Orange County. So the idea of selling that and finding an alternative was something that I was not on board with, because it's hard to find something like that house, even here by the coast. Once we started talking to Keven, found a few listings in Costa Mesa.
And this kind of just goes to show you how timing is everything, because what DJ and Paige actually wanted, their purpose was to move to Eastside Costa Mesa or Newport, and I just happened to have just listed the perfect home for them. I showed them my listing that I had. It was one of the only modern contemporary listings in the Eastside Costa Mesa neighborhood, even on the market. It was the perfect fit for them. My clients who own that home, I sold this property to them years back. They were moving out of the country. And so now the question was, can we line these things up? Is my buyer going to be interested in that? And if not, can I list that property and get this done to make sure that everything works out like clockwork? And we got to work.
The ball started rolling, and we were kind of off to the races. And I was very hesitant and, let's say, pessimistic, where my wife was a lot more optimistic and kind of really bought into Keven's strategy. The process was very smooth. His team was incredible. We've not been involved in that kind of process before, and having all of these parts of his cast having a separate role in the process made it very easy. You know, if a question was a specific question, that was directed at this person, etc. So it made that sort of fact-finding mission for us, like, okay, what do we do now, very easy, because we thought we were in over our heads, and he made us feel that we weren't in over our heads. The fact that we were selling a house that was contingent upon buying another house. So there were a lot of moving parts, and he just made us feel very at ease through the whole process.
My belief system is that the best way to create a comp or to match a comp is through competition. It's not what I see 99.9% of realtors do, which is price a home here and watch it go down. My strategy is to always create excitement and to create a bidding war and to move the price up.
When we discussed how to price the home, he had a very unique strategy, which I like the idea behind the strategy, because it's kind of pricing it low and getting enthusiasm and energy to build up and get the price to where it should be. But it took us a while to wrap our heads around that and to feel comfortable, but Keven put us at ease, and after a number of conversations, he spent a lot of time in conversations with us to get us comfortable about how he wanted to price the house. And once I got on board with that, and we let him kind of have carte blanche with the process, it made it easy for us. Like, this person is going to take care of this process. We can focus on other things, day-to-day life. A week later, when we did put the house on the market, price it, we had dinner with all of our Eichler neighbors, about 20 of us, at a Thai restaurant. And the big question at the table was, why did you price your house so low? Because these people have a vested interest in the value of our house selling, because their homes are pretty much identical. So we explained to them, like, hey, this was his idea, and everyone was basically saying, yeah, I don't think you guys did such a good job in following this guy's advice. It's probably not going to get to where you need it.
Having faith that if we list it here at this number, in my heart, in my soul, that tells me that's going to be the best way to get you to this number. So they wanted 1.275 to 1.325. And they had interviewed other agents, and I know other agents told them 1.2 is a good place to start. I knew that if we started below 1.1, it was going to create an all-out frenzy. And I knew there was some nervousness where they were like, Kev, are you sure we're going to be able to make a $200,000 jump? But I knew it. I trusted it, and I knew that at the end of the day, it's competition, and it's the way we collaborate with the other brokers and update it and do the opposite of what most neighborhood experts do, which is make it difficult for guys like us to come in and work with them. They tend to block us off, whereas to me, I want to bring all those agents in. I believe that collaboration trumps competition every single day of the week.
What put me at ease and what Keven understood is that it had to get to a certain value in order for us to buy the home we wanted. And so his business model, this whole transaction was contingent upon him selling that house for X amount.
So we went out at $1,095,000. We created an entire documentary in 10 days about the Fairhaven tract and how awesome the Fairhaven tract was. And we went and interviewed the owners of the other homes in the Fairhaven neighborhood.
And the house was photographed and videoed to a point of, like, the marketing was spot on. And I don't think any other realtor has that ability to make such a polished presentation of a home. The video, the collateral, the open houses were done in such a way where they're professional, they're clean, and it's not ostentatious at all. And it really did a good job of building energy and building enthusiasm among buyers. And I think that's where his skill set lies.
It absolutely went off. It was a madhouse, and it was a blast.
All of our neighbors were very pleasantly surprised and thrilled when the house did sell, because it sold for a record number for an Eichler in this particular tract, the Fairhaven tract.
We actually opened escrow right away with one of my buyers, and about 11 days in, unfortunately, my buyer had a situation and they could not perform. And that ended up really working to DJ and Paige's benefit, because we ended up opening escrow $50,000 higher than my buyer, and we closed the deal. And we closed the deal at $1.3 million, making it the second highest price Eichler sale in the history of Orange County.
I think his skill set in building those relationships with people, professional or personal, and crossing a personal relationship into professional relationship, allows him to build this network that propels his business to the next level. The escrow process was going really well, and he was very communicative the whole time. His team was perfectly aligned to give us information when we needed it. I would say working with his team was much smoother than working with the bank with a loan or even the escrow company. It was any question we had was answered clearly and succinctly, and just a concrete answer is what you want when you're a hesitant, nervous seller of real estate and trying to sell your house and buy another house at the same time. So the house did sell for a record amount. He allowed us to time the purchase of our new house because he was selling that with the previous owner. And again, it comes down to relationships. He probably built relationships with the previous owner of the house we're living in now over many years. But they trusted him, and they were confident in it. And so it allowed for a very smooth transition from selling our house, buying the house we're living in now, And I can't say enough great things about Keven and his company and the whole process. Like I said, I've told all of our Eichler neighbors, hey, this guy can, bring a lot to your homes, and I'm hoping he can develop that relationship with our neighborhood. And we still have a great relationship with our neighborhood. We go back quite frequently. Our daughter has play dates with those friends, but we love our new house. We love its location, and can't say enough great things about the whole process.
The most beautiful transactions are when somebody trusts the process. For me, I believe in my heart and soul that when we have the right people, we have the right product, we have the right price, and we layer that with our process, when somebody trusts me wholeheartedly, magic happens. And in this case with DJ and Paige, not only did magic happen for the FAIRHEAVEN tract, but magic was able to happen on their purchase. And we were able to perfectly align an extraordinary price here. While my client moved out of the country in Eastside Costa Mesa, DJ and Paige were able to move into this beautiful new home. And it was just really one of those special transactions.
A lot of neighbors ask me about Keven and KASE, real estate in general. And I think what he brings to the table is a deep appreciation and knowledge of mid-century and modern architecture.
There's not a lot of agents that have had an opportunity to represent these Eichler homes, so to finally get the shot was truly an honor. Major thanks to Team Sigband for trusting KASE to close. Very thankful we were able to help get you guys closer to the beach and also closer to our home base here in Costa Mesa, so thank you guys.